In today's video, I'm setting sail on the Majestic Princess for a 6-night Caribbean cruise. The goal is simple: get enough points in the casino to earn a free cruise. I want to minimize my risk and maximize my return, but will I be successful? Keep watching to find out. Alright, so I'm here. It's basically day 0, a couple days before I depart. Just getting all my stuff prepped for the next cruise that I'm going on. And it's going to be a 6-day Western Caribbean cruise on the Majestic Princess going out of Port Everglades. I've done this itinerary a bunch of times. I actually choose it because it has the lowest taxes and fees of any Caribbean itinerary that I have found. This is the one that goes to Mexico, Roatan, sometimes Belize, but not this one because it's only 6 days. So excited about it, excited about trying out a new ship, new casino. I've never been on the Majestic Princess before. It's an older Royal class ship. It was built in 2017, but just went through a major refurbishment earlier this year in April 2025. So excited to get on there, check out the casino. I've never been on there before. The main game I'm probably going to be playing is craps. That's usually my go-to game. So excited to get on the ship, check it out, see what the dealers are like, see what the table is like. The last cruise I was on the Enchanted Princess. That craps table I liked when it was the regular craps table. Then they switched it to a crapless craps table. I know they're trying that out on the Enchanted. Maybe 1 or 2 other ships. I think Majestic has normal craps. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing how crowded the table is or isn't on the Majestic Princess. The plan I have for this cruise is to earn 4,000 points. So this will be my first cruise sailing on the revised See You Soon offers. So 4,000 points for a 7-day or less cruise will secure me an interior room with $400 in free play. Depending on how I'm doing, I might just stop at 3,000, but the goal is definitely to secure a room on this cruise. Based on my previous experience and how I play craps, I average around 500-ish points an hour when I'm on the ship. And again, that depends on what the pit boss is rating you at, how quickly the table is moving, a whole bunch of factors that you don't know until you actually get on the ship. That being said, if my goal is 4,000 points and I earn 500-ish points an hour, probably looking about 8 hours of table time, I think I want to try and get 1,500 points on the first night, so then I'll be able to secure the drinks on us benefit in the casino. Not that I'll be drinking that much, but it's nice to be able to grab a beer while you're at the table and to have that drinks on us benefit, which you do need 1,500 points every time you cruise to get that if you don't have a drink package. I typically don't buy a drink package because I'm just not drinking that much. Tomorrow will be day 1 as we embark on the Majestic Princess and start our adventure trying to earn a cruise while on a cruise. All right, so we are here night 1 on the Majestic Princess, gambling on this cruise to try and earn a free cruise. Just left Fort Lauderdale a little while ago. Very interesting boarding today. I don't know, there was some issue with either security or computers or the bridge where there was a huge delay in getting people on the ship. I showed up 1:15 and there was still a line out the door waiting for security, waiting to get on the ship. So I didn't end up getting on the ship until well after 2 o'clock. But, once the line started moving, it was at least efficient getting through. They did a good job getting everyone through. It was just surprising how many people were waiting to get on the ship still that late. But no worries, on the ship. Grabbed some pizza for lunch, hung out, checked out the sail away party. Plan tonight, grab some food, grab some dinner, then hit the craps table in the casino. We'll be interested to see what the vibe and the players are like. So far, seems like a good crew, a good group of passengers. So we'll be interested to see everyone at the craps table, see how that goes. So yeah, night 1, getting ready. We'll let you know how it all goes. All right. Night 1 on the Majestic Princess in the books. Good night for me on the craps table. The dice were rolling about as well as they could for the strategy I was playing. Not that many points were being hit. Lots of long rolls. Lots of numbers that weren't the point were being hit that I had money on. So overall, about as good as I could ask for from a dice rolling perspective. Got off to a little bit of a rough start. Lost $200 right off the bat on the first shooter who hit back-to-back points, and then I got hit by a lady in a wheelchair in the back of my leg. So didn't start off that great, but stuck with it. Middle part of the night was great, and then the last shooter I was playing on, he hit a couple points back-to-back as well, so kind of bled out a little bit on him, but the middle part, the majority of the night, was super solid. So definitely got out in the black, in the positive, up about $400, which is nice for kind of the risk reward that I'm playing. I think I was getting rated pretty well on the table tonight. When I checked, the numbers seemed pretty solid. We'll be interested to see how many points I ended up with tonight. I think my goal was 1,500. I don't know if I got there. If I had to guess, I'm probably under it, but I would expect 12 to 1,300 points. That's kind of what I'm expecting to be at tomorrow. So a little less than halfway to my goal, which was 4,000, but depending on how I'm doing, I might stop at 3,000. We'll see. Overall, the table was good. I actually recognized some of the guys there from previous cruises, so it's always good to see them and catch up. And the dealers, for the most part, were pretty good. There was definitely a couple of dealers that were new and were getting overwhelmed. One dealer was really trying to move the game along very fast, and I think that kind of shook up some of the newer dealers. I understand that they want to move the dice, especially on a full table. Things can get bogged down and people want to play, but you also have to be aware that some of the dealers are new and they're getting overwhelmed, and you can't just be hyper and pushing the dice out. That's night 1. Couldn't have really asked for a better way to start the cruise. We'll be interested, like I said, to see how many points I ended up with, and then that will kind of determine how I play for the rest of the cruise. But so far so good. Starting off on a good foot. No complaints here. Catch you guys tomorrow. Day 2 of gambling on the Majestic Princess to try and earn a free cruise. Today's a sea day. We're just chilling. We're on our way to Costa Maya, I think, which is our next stop tomorrow. Just got back from the casino, checked out the number of points I have. Good news is I hit my goal, actually. So my goal was to do 1,500 points by night 1. Ended up with 1,575, so that's awesome. Happy about that. I actually thought it might have been a little bit less than that. So the fact that I did hit 1,500, got the Drinks on Us package unlocked, even though I'm probably not even going to use it, but that's besides the point. The goal was 1,500, so happy that I achieved the goal and got there. We're about halfway to the first free cruise level, which is 3,000 points. That gets you in an interior room and $100 free play. Now, I had talked about before I came on the ship how I really wanted to go for 4,000 points, because 1,000 points more, it's going to get you $400 free play. So 300 additional. It's not a bad bump to a free play number, even though you are still stuck on that interior room level. I'll take the free play. I'm not going to complain about that at all. Hopefully it will be the same tonight. I think the strategy here is to go back in and basically do the exact same thing I did last night, get another 1,500 points. So in 2 nights, I'll be at 3,000 and I'll have that free cruise unlocked. The question then will be, where do I want to go from there? I think the answer is going to have to do with how much bankroll I have. I'll just have to assess once I'm at 3,000 points what I want to do, depending on what the bankroll is looking like. If I want to do the extra 1,000 points or not, that will be the question. But for now, I'm going to hold off on making any sort of decision like that tonight. We'll just have to see how tonight goes, and hopefully the table is still kind to me on night 2. I'll be happy to break even. That's totally fine with me. In terms of what I did for the rest of the day, not much. It was a pretty chill day. Spent some time on the outdoor decks, walking around, exploring the ship. Never been on this ship before, so a lot of new things to see and check out. Really enjoyed the Hollywood Conservatory area at the front of the ship. It's kind of a combination of an indoor pool and sort of a quasi garden area. Really nice space. A lot of ships are doing away with public space on the front of the ships, which I think is kind of a shame. They are making it a pay area, so it's either sanctuary cabins or you have to pay to get into the sanctuary club. But on the Majestic, it's all open. Anyone can go in there, which I think is great, is awesome. Probably grab dinner somewhere. It is formal night. I don't know if I'm going to go to the main dining room or I'll just swing by the buffet again and then hit the casino, hit the craps table. They've been opening up the table pretty early, like shortly after 7. So that's when I'm going to try and get there, put in my 2 hours, and then we'll see where we're at. So hopefully it's a good night tonight, and I'll see you guys later. Next time, in part 2 of this series, I'll finish up my Caribbean gambling journey on the Majestic Princess. Follow and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.